Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the Nabalis Impulse extrusion. I've had this for about a week and a half, and honestly, it's really good. Although I do have a few problems with it. Number one, durability. The the bottoms of the handles dent, the Zen pin fell out on the second day, and the blade can get scuffs easily. Now, the dents on the bottom of the handles, that's no biggie, whatever, doesn't affect the flipping. The Zen pin starting to fall out, that does. That was only on the second day of me having it. That's a big issue. And the blade getting scuffed is whatever, but I like a clean black on, the blade. I don't want weird white and blue scuffs all over it. So, whatever. But the balance. If you're just getting into flipping, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend this necessarily, but I wouldn't not recommend it because this is an amazing flipper. It carries momentum, it does tricks you want it to do, it does all that good stuff. But it has too much tip weight. For a beginner, they're not going to want to have, fans and stuff like that because, they're going to be learning rollovers and stuff like that. I like to do a lot of fans, so I really like this. You may not, but I would recommend this as your second or third Balisong, but not your first. Something like a Squiddy, or even like a Squiddy B would be great, or stuff like that. Which actually, if you're considering the Squiddy, I have a video on that you can go check out on my channel. But it doesn't have the greatest flipping or balance profile for a beginner. Now, if you already have a decent collection and you just want something fun and new for 40 bucks, then 100% get this. It's amazing, it's super nice, and it will do what you want it to do. Now, the removable weights at the bottom make it more neutral, and I like a slightly blade biased. I like it to be maybe, or not blade biased, but I like it to be slightly handle biased and maybe even a tad blade bias. I don't know. I like it very neutral where I can do fans but just enough where I can do rollovers decently but going back into another fan. I really like fans. They're super fun. But the tolerances, that's not tap, but it's a lot of wiggle. Now, this thing has giant washers. Like, those are some thick washers. Now, there are thicker washers out there, and for sure, but these are by far the thickest washers I've ever gotten. Like, those are, compared to the blade, those are like some big washers. And the thing about having big washers is that the oil leaks out super easily. I have to oil this thing if I'm flipping it for, just for fun while I'm watching TV. Then I have to oil this thing like every hour. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm running it dry right now. But in a second, actually, we're going to put the oil from the kit that came with it. But the sound, first we have to do a sound test, with the dry, but it sounds very high-pitched, very dry. Doesn't sound very good. It does have a nice ring to it. Alright, now I'm going to go put oil in it. Alright, I just oiled it, and here's a sound test. So it does sound, I like the sound when it's oiled a lot better, but the tolerances are nothing. Like, there's no wiggle, which is really nice, but I do think these bushings could use a good tune because I like to run mine on thin because it's cheaper, But yeah, the sound of this is really nice. I really like it. But the design. So the design is really cool. I like the blade. I think it's super cool. I really like it. Some people, I looked at some other reviews. Some people don't think it looks cool. I think it looks sick. But that's just me. The blade, they're not the blade, but the handles are pretty plain. They they have a little bit of rounding, but they don't look that good. I mean, in my opinion, it's whatever. They're super plain. It's literally just rounded and then with a divot in the middle, you know. So nothing crazy, but the sandblast made it look really cool. Like flipping this thing in my backyard in the sun, it looked amazing. Now, weights or no weights? I I honestly can't answer that because I like both. I have I can I don't know. My flipping style is always changing. So, having weights or no weights, it doesn't really matter. If I have weights, then I'll just adapt and go to a different type of flipping style, learn different moves, all that good stuff. If I don't have weights, then I'll do more fans, do more fan combos, stuff like that. Learn more fan stuff like that. But I I did take out the weights and I flipped it. I did take out the weights and I flipped it for a good like 2 days. Now, I can't tell you which one you're going to enjoy more because you are going to flip a lot different than I do. But I personally prefer a little bit less weight down here. I'm probably going to 3D print some spacers for this just where it has some weight but not like a ton, because this has a little bit too much weight in the bottoms of the handles for me, but having no weights out is a little bit too like neutral for me. I like to have it like barely blade bias. So just that little bit of extra weight in the handles will probably help a lot. But that's the Nabalis extrusion. And I think it's an incredible purchase. Now, I will recommend it for sure. But I can't say this is the best budget Balisong because a couple days ago, Thomas Balisong came out with the Atlas for only $23 on Amazon, which is insane. Now, I just ordered one. Mine's going to be here tomorrow, and I'll do a first impressions video on that. And but for $40, this is amazing. Okay, I also heard that the Thomas Balisong Atlas is going to be like 5.6 ounces, and this is, that's almost double this. This is 3.5. This is pretty light. But great flipper, great sound, not the greatest durability, oil leaks pretty easily, removable weights, Zen pin falls out, but it comes with Loctite, so you're good there. But overall, great knife. I'm gonna I would recommend this for someone who is just trying to add something fun to their collection. So that's about it, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.